Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
I hope you guys have your pen and paper ready because I'm going to bring on the man himself. Donta is someone special to me. He's such an amazing leader. I remember hearing him a few years ago speak for the first time, and I was like, man, this guy is going to be something special in the network marketing industry. And we're blessed at Auvoria Prime to have him and his partner, Michael. They're just so dynamic and such amazing leaders. And this guy, Donta has so much knowledge. He's a student, right? He's a student. He studies. He wants to master, and he's always wanted to master network marketing. And you can see that he's a student. And so all of you today, I'm saying, be a student, have those ears open, have that mind ready, stay to the very end of this call, and welcome everybody, and give a bunch of 777s to my friend and amazing leader, Icon 25, Mr. Donta Lewis. Take it away, my friend.
All right. Well, one, just want to say shout out to AP and just really grateful for the opportunity to even be able to speak on a call like this. I think it's a massive, massive deal. I love being around the community and just being around so many like-minded people who want to get it. Like there's 75 people on here on a Saturday morning that are trying to learn, that are trying to level up, that are trying to take their business to the next level. So it's exciting. It really reminds me of some places that I've been in 2015, 16, and 17 when I was really first starting to build my business. And so I just want to say shout out to Auvoria Prime as a whole, and that I'm just grateful to have this opportunity to speak in front of all of you. As a matter of fact, if you have anything right now, can I share my screen, Matt? Or yeah, nay? Cool. So if you have anything right now, and I like to start all my calls off like this, if you have anything right now that you're grateful for, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Like, I don't want to see a 7. I don't want to see where you're from. If you can think about something right now that you say, listen, I'm grateful for X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be for you. And a lot of times, like one of my mentors, he really used to push me with intentionally being grateful, because I used to just wake up, I got my phone, I'm checking my social media, I'm posting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And he's like, Don, you're not taking enough time to appreciate where it is that you're already at. Everything that you're looking for, you already have it. It's just you being aware and having the perspective of knowing that it's already mine. So I see those things dropping in the chat. And again, you guys want to, if you can't think of anything, the first thing that you can think is that, well, literally yesterday, there was probably somebody on planet Earth who was thinking about who thought they were going to wake up this morning, and they did not, and they could have passed overnight or whatever could have happened. But that individual, like, you have a blessing. You want to appreciate and come into your day knowing that the fact that I'm even alive and have the ability to make decisions puts me in a position to now approach my day with dominance. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm not talking to them like I'm begging them or I'm needing them. I feel empowered because of how I start my day off, how I start my calls off, how I start my life off. So really having a perspective of gratitude is just massive, and gratitude is the second strongest emotion there is in the world behind love. So it's a massive, massive thing. I want to show you guys this. Somebody sent this to me yesterday, and I thought that it was interesting. And I've read stuff like this before, but it really, really puts some of the things like, why are we here building Auvoria Prime into perspective? And again, there's 80 people on the call right now. I would love to see this go up to 100. One of the smart things you can do is go in your group chat right now and put a O, a T, and a C inside your group chat. Whatever telegrams you're a part of with your team, go put an OTC in that group chat right now. People are gonna be like, what the hell is OTC? It means on the call. It means that you are present. So it blows up the groups. I say, go blow up your group chats right now while I share my screen and show you this. Now, this blew my mind because I never read this in enough detail. So this is the top 5 regrets that people have when they're dying, honestly. And I think that this is very important to read because I think that it'll really give you a different perspective about where we're at. Look at these things. These are things that people say. Like, this is happening every single day. People are looking back at their life and they're having a moment of perspective as it's almost over. And they're saying, you know what? I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I wish that I had let myself be happier. Think about those things. None of those things say, oh yeah, I wish I could have put more hours in my job or had another overtime or had another, like, you know what I mean? Like, these are real things that people are saying that they're talking about. And if you put that in perspective in your own life, you will be reminded about what's really important. Why do I want to build a business that's global, that's online, that gives me my time? Why? So I can spend more time with the people I actually want to be around. So that way I can actually live my life to the way that I want to and not try to impress or show off for a boss or show off for, like, there's a reason behind this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh yeah, I want to make a whole bunch of money. Like, no, it's so much deeper than that for me personally. And I see a bunch of people hopping on the call right now. So that means them OTCs must be working and waking some people up. So shout out. And again, that's a trick you can use for all you guys' calls. It's like, make that a culture. Drop an OTC in your chat every time there's a call going on. So those who are present are acknowledging it, and those who are not, we know. So it's a massive, massive thing. Now, how many of y'all were at the Ride the Wave event or you watched it online? Drop a 1 in the chat if you were there or you watched it online. I know we couldn't get a lot of international people there. I want to see who was at the event. I want to know. I see some ones in the chat, ones in the chat, ones in the chat. Love it. We're up to 83 people too. Listen, send this link out to somebody. We just getting started. All right. So if you were at the event, would you say, like, would you consider the AP, the event transformational? Did you have a transformational experience at the event? Do you feel like that it was an incredible event? Like, if you were looking back on it, what would be the word that you use to describe the Ride the Wave Orlando event? What would be that word? What would you say? Somebody asked you for one word. What's the word? Clarity. Shout out to Jordan. Facts. Confirmation. Exceptional. And I see, look, 87 people on the call. They're coming in. Eye-opening, amazing, pushed, beginning. I love these things. And for me, I like to, and I told this to my partner the other day too. I was like, I want to give, or anytime I'm looking at an event, I give that company, that organization or whatever, 90 days from that event to determine how I feel the event went. Because you can tell when an event was good by the production and by the transformation that are in the lives of the people who were present after that. And look at that. I think we just crossed 90 people. Look at that. Just from posting OTCs in the chat. Look at us, just simple things, y'all. I'll be trying to tell y'all. But it's massive. And I want y'all to understand that, like, the reaction of the people after the event will let you know how the event really was. And the energy that I see all through Auvoria Prime right now is at an all-time high. What's up, Garrett? I see you on here, bro. Much love. And I'm excited because I really feel like a lot of people that were in that room or watching it on live received it. And what does that mean when you say receive it? There's a difference. I tell people often, I've been in the industry now since 2012. And I was in a company back with Derek and a few other people back in those days. But the company was never in me. Network marketing was never in me. Being the best Donta was never inside of me. I was just there. I was just a participant of what was happening, but it had never internalized into a wake-up call for me until 2017. And in 2017, what happened to me is that I had a mentor of mine buy me a ticket to GoPro, which is an environment where there was 10 to 15,000 different people, 1,000 six-figure earners in the room, people from all over the world. This is before COVID. So it's like there was people from literally all over the world who were present at this event. And what happened at that room is I received it. Like, I remember going to my room after the event and bawling my eyes out by myself in a $30 a night motel because it clicked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happened for me. It was an awakening. She said I was there too. Shout out to Brett. But it was an awakening for me. And it's like, it's so crazy because I saw people, make sure everybody's muted. I saw people have that same exact reaction or those same kind of feelings this past weekend or 2 weekends ago at the Ride the Wave Orlando event. Actually, I'll tell you a story too. I had a guy, I remember this is 2 years ago, this gentleman, there was a retreat for like 7-figure earners and up kind of stuff in this one company prior. And I didn't qualify for it. And obviously most people didn't. And there was this one gentleman though, he went to the guy's house. He didn't qualify for the event, but because he just happened to be in the area, they had an extra ticket, somebody canceled and they invited him to go. And the gentleman who they invited to this private jet retreat, he was only making like $1,000, $2,000 a month, but he just happened to be at the right place at the right time and got the invite to go on the trip. And this story blew my mind because it's just so real and relatable. And the guy, they said that this gentleman, that once they took off and they were in the air, that he was bawling, crying the entire plane ride from where they were at to where they went. He was crying the entire time, just in tears. And it's like, what are you crying about? Like, what is happening? But it's internal. It's like when you realize that there's no difference than the most successful people that are doing this and you. There's no difference than anybody you saw walk on stage at the Ride the Wave event and you. There's no different than any leader speaking on an AP Nation call and you. There's literally no difference. And when you have that internal awakening that there's nothing stopping you from getting what it is that you can see right now, it's emotional. Because I know for me, I spent most of my life in a poverty mindset, in a poverty environment. So when I started to see people, it took me years to even open up my heart enough to receive that this is a possibility for me. It took years of not having enough money. So it's like when you guys see these events and things like that happening, you have to go so far out of your way to make sure people are in that environment. Why? Because you want people in your organization to receive it too. There's one thing when you join Auvoria Prime, there's the next day when it's in your heart. That's like, such a difference from when those two things happens. You want to make sure that the people that are around you are also having these transformational experiences, just like I did when I was in Vegas and just like the gentleman did when he was on the jet. And same thing, that guy who went on the jet, within 16 months of that, he was literally making over $1 million a year. And from $1,000 a month in 16, 17 months. And it was nothing that happened except his own awareness to how powerful that he was no different than the person who rented out the private jet. It was such a good story that the guy even rented out his own private jet for that event and flew his whole team there just to make a statement about what changed his life 2 years prior. And that kind of stuff, it really inspires me because it happened to me. Now, there's nothing more important in your Auvoria Prime business building career than becoming a rising star and creating as many rising stars as humanly possible. There's absolutely nothing more important. And I think that somebody said in the chat was clarity is what they got from the event. I'll make sure everybody's muted. Thank you. One of the things that they got from the event was clarity. And I believe that Auvoria Prime made it abundantly clear that our priority as affiliates of AP is to first become a rising star and then to help create other rising stars in your organization. So I'm going to go through quickly a couple of pointers for myself about just what it really takes to go rising star, because a lot of times, like so many people want the position, like people always want the position. I want the position of Icon 25K. I want the position of corporate owner. I want the position of X, Y, and D. And it's not about the position. Position doesn't always equal production, but production every time leads to a position. If you are a producer, if you are somebody who gets it done, if you are an executor, if you're somebody who finishes the job, you will always be in the positions that you want to. And we're at 98 people, by the way. Can somebody send the link out to 2 more people and get them on the call, please? All right, we got to crack this 100. I knew it's possible. It needs to happen. So position does not always lead to production, but production always leads to whatever position it is that you want to be in. So what my advice to you is to focus on your own personal production first, okay? So before we're worried about how many other rising stars or how many rising stars in my group, you want to make sure that you have accomplished this feat, that you have actually completed this. Why? It doesn't even matter what rank you are. From today on, you want to go hit rising star. How many days do we got left, Matt? Probably like 45 days, something like that. It's been 2 weeks since the event.
Yeah, you got to rehit Visionary 500 by the end of September.
End of September.
And then you got to be verified 4 weeks. So you have till the end of October.
End of September, you got to hit your rank by and then hold it throughout the month of October. Makes perfect sense. That should be everybody's number one priority that's on this call right now. Why should it be your number one priority? Because if you want people in your organization to duplicate, to do anything, they have to see it. They're not going to do anything if they don't see you doing anything. So now you got to realize that people do what they see, and what they see will duplicate inside of your own organization. So if we make a culture of creating rising stars, making rising star the coolest thing in the world, making sure we acknowledge our rising stars, which AP is doing a phenomenal job of, but it's our job to do what? To create them. And one of the biggest things I want people to realize is that it's not just based on that on person's work. Like Corey or Jasmine or Derek or whoever, and I just said the first names that I see, but that person it's not like they're going rising star by themselves. If I enroll somebody brand new today and they make a commitment that they're going rising star, I'm going to help them as the person that's in their upline support team. So once you accomplish rising star, that doesn't mean that your personal recruiting stops. That doesn't mean you stop bringing in new people to the business. This is production. This is every week. Listen, nobody cares about the touchdowns you threw last year. None of those touchdowns help you win today's game. None of them. None of the things that we did last year, last week, yesterday are going to directly affect us winning the game today. So I don't want anybody to think, well, I already have 50 personals in AP. I already hit rising star. All of that is completely out the window. You need to throw it out. It does not matter. This entire company is walking into this next week as if this is brand new. Like, I don't say the next 90 days anymore. For me, I'm treating this like it's my first 90 days. How would I act when I was first in the business? If I could take all the experience that I have now and implement that into a brand new person who just joined today, what would I be doing? What would I be saying in my meetings? How many meetings would I be? How would I treat the business if I had nobody in it? I'm not worrying about none of the people that are currently in my organization. I'm operating like it's all on me right now because I don't have no other choice but to. If you spend too much time, you can literally, you can drown trying to save somebody else. Did you know that? Literally, you can literally kill yourself by trying too hard to save somebody else. Your best way to save them is to show them the example and to allow them to realize that there's no difference between you and them while you help them. But if you spend too long trying to dig somebody out of a grave, you were better off just having, like, what do we say? It's so much easier to have a baby in network marketing than it is to raise the dead. The best thing that you can do in your organization is bring in new people. Every organization on planet Earth is based on new people. Colleges based on new freshmen, sports teams based on the draft. Every year there's a major draft. The army, military, all of those things are all literally based around a consensus effort that we need to be consistently bringing in new people through this organization every single day. When does a D1 team stop recruiting? They could have just got the best prospect ever that ever had to ever play whatever sport they were talking about. It doesn't matter. They're going to continue to recruit people as soon as that individual is in their system. And you need to have the same mindset in your business. And I promise it will roll over into the people that you actually have enrolled. But it's a mindset of understanding that I'm never done. My work's never done. My work isn't there's no ending. Success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It doesn't say there's a destination and once you hit it, it's over. That's why I hate when people refer to somebody as, oh yeah, Donta, you're successful. You're saying that based on the amount of money you assume it is that I have, but I was successful before the money even came because I already knew I was progressively getting closer to where it is that I wanted to be. And it's just literally like a perspective change of how this whole entire thing works. But you're successful now. The results come after you realize that you already have what it is that you're trying to go get. It's already yours. It's more so your awakening and awareness that, hey, I can go get this. I'm worthy of being a 6-figure plus earner. I'm worthy of being a 7-figure a month type of earner. I'm worthy of those things. Why? Because we already know that they're a reality. It's not like we don't know. You're not like, I don't know if anybody can make 6 figures in Auvoria Prime. Josh showed us there was what? A $7.5 million in commissions paid out in the last 16 months. How could you not there? You know what I mean? Like, how could we not? Could we give a shout out from that? We clap it up for the $7.5 million. Shout out if you've received $1 of those commissions, go ahead and drop something in the chat. Let me see something in the chat. You got at least $1 of those commissions that came that $7.5 million. So realize if that's what we've done in 16 months, 17 months, what does it look like in 10 years, in 15 years? Have any of y'all ever even seen or met somebody who's been in a network marketing company successful 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Because I have plenty of mentors who've been doing so, and the lifestyle that they live is worth whatever it takes to get it done. Whatever it takes to be able to go. And I know even my partner, Michael, you guys know Michael, and you guys hear Michael going crazy on people and stuff like that. But as from man to man, real talk, Michael Manuel has the most impressive thing about his career. He's made multiple millions of dollars. But what impresses me the most is that he's never, for either of his sons, missed any games, birthdays, practices, school lunches, none of those things. Being 100% present for both of your children their entire life. What's worth that? It was worth, for me, it's worth whatever it takes. Why? Because I lived a life to where my dad wasn't kissing me at night at bed and wasn't there when I woke up in the morning. I already lived that. So it's like, why would I want to create that for somebody else? But when we look at this section right here, your why, is it that serious to you? Like, is it really serious? You guys hear it all the time. Like, your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. And I had a guy at an event I just went to. He said, if your why doesn't make you cry, the price of commitment will always be too high. And I'm like, wow, that was a good one. I like to end it on that one. To think that you will never really be able to commit to the things it is that you want if your why isn't that deep. Like, and again, you want to get it that deep with yourself and then have that conversation with the individuals that are also in your organization about have like the same conversation. Why are we doing this? It's bigger than just a couple $100s a month. It's bigger than just leveraging the products and learning how to trade. Why? What do you want as a person? You're a human being, not a human doing. It's more about who is it that you want to be in your lifetime more than it is about what is it that you actually do on a day in and day out basis. And I think that that's a mess up that we have in society. It's like people talk to me, walk up to me, hey, what do you do? It's like the first thing they ask me. I'm like, bro, like, you don't even know who I am. Like, doesn't even, I do a lot of things. Like, it's not just one thing that I do. I do this and that. I'm going to be a 7-figure earner network marketing and a 7-figure plus trader. I'm going to do that. It's not just one thing. It's and for a lot of stuff. And you want to have, again, that same perspective. I say perspective all the time because your perspective literally directly drives your performance. Now, we talked about duplication a little bit, and I want to show you guys something here if you've never seen this before. So one of my YouTube mentors, his name is Brian Crothers. If you've never read his book, it's called Building an Empire. If you're looking for a good book in network marketing, Building an Empire is one of the top 5 ones in my personal opinion. So Building an Empire, Brian Crothers, cop that. But he talks about, and he teaches, this guy's made, how much money do you think Brian's made in the industry, Matt? 50 million?
At least.
Yeah, like something crazy.
He personally, I know I'm good friends with him too. He personally will sponsor over 100 people a year, even after like 20 million, 30, 50 million dollars. It's crazy.
Insane kind of numbers, but he teaches a principle. So if I had the opportunity to restart my entire business and start over today, I would start with understanding this concept that we talk about oftentimes when it comes to trading, but not enough when it comes to business. And it's really the compound effect. I'm sure most of y'all have read the book, The Compound Effect, but I want you to think about this. He teaches a strategy called 2 a day, meaning that if you just commit to reaching out to 2 people every single day, no matter what, meaning that every day you're not going to sleep unless you have 2 conversations with people about Auvoria Prime's products and services, just 2 people. If it's just you and you're doing 2 exposures a day, that's about 60 exposures every month. He's saying that your closing rate, let's say your closing rate is at 5%. So you close 5% of the people you bring in. That's 3 new people added to your business every month. I'll tell you this, nobody in Auvoria Prime will be going less than 10% at least closing rate, at least, because our products are just so good. The opportunity is so good. I can't even remember the last time somebody told me no. They tell me no, it's because they don't have the money to be able to do it. But outside of that, everybody I talk to basically signs up. So if you have the mindset of even just that 5%, then let's say, what if you and 5 people in your team, 5 different people make this commitment today and say, you know what, I'm exposing 2 a day, no matter what. That is 12 people, because there's 6 of y'all now, getting exposed to your business every single day. 12 people for the month, 360. Now you're talking about 18 new people joining your business right now. I know a lot of people's numbers on this call. Most of y'all don't got 20, 30, 40, 50 people joining your business every single month. No, it's not coming in like that. It's more so sporadic. So to bring that consistency, and by adding something so simple as a commitment to how many it is that we're going to go every day. How many people am I going to fully ATM every single day? How many people am I going to get on a 3-way call every day? Set that what we call daily method of operation, which is like just basically a non-negotiable that you'll have with yourself. Non-negotiable meaning that it doesn't matter what's happening. I don't care who's sick. I don't care what's going on. I'm not negotiating with myself whether or not this activity is getting done or not. The conversation already happened when I wrote it down, meaning that no matter what happens in my life, I'm doing whatever these activities are. So to have something like 2 a day makes that very easy, because it'll take you under 30 minutes to reach out and talk to 2 people about what is it that we have here at Auvoria Prime. And I'm going to tell you guys at the end of the call how to hit the momentum builder pool this week. My goal is for everybody to hop off this call in the Snap Momentum bonus pool this week, not next week, no. The next 7 days, I want to see, we got 97 people on. How would the company look if 97 people got a point in the pool this week? But it's a reality, because we all took the approach of, this is my first 90 days in the business. It doesn't matter how many people I have right now. Your first priority would be to go to visionary. So it's like, if we all went visionary in the next 7 days, that's the same as us all hitting the momentum builder bonus pool. So it's think about that. That's exactly what I want to happen after this call. And I set expectations for everything it is that I'm doing. My expectation is that you're going to hear something today that wakes you up, makes you say, you know what? I'm hitting the pool this week. It does not matter what is it that I have to do. The process of the activity of what you have to do is less important than the decision. The decision to get it done comes before you actually going out and doing it. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat box if that makes sense. You have to decide on what is it that is going to be prior to the action going ahead and being done. That's just a 100% fact, all right? And I want everybody to understand that. But you guys got to look at these numbers, and it should blow your mind to think that if 25 people every day committed to 2 exposures a day, there'd be almost 100 people joining my business every month. So it's like some of y'all got more than 25 people on your teams right now. Y'all can go have a conversation right after this. Say, hey, listen, you know what? Let's commit to whatever the commitment that you guys are going to make, but doing it together and starting with you as the leader. Every leader needs to have a me first attitude. Me first. What does that mean? That means before I go tell somebody else what they need to be doing or what they should be doing, it needs to be done through me first. People are like, Donta, I don't have a big team to lead. I don't have anybody in my organization. Are you leading you? Are you even leading yourself on a day in and day out basis? And how do you lead yourself? You set goals and you accomplish them. That's the period. Like the example of leading yourself is doing the things that you say you're going to do. Setting some kind of commitment, goal, progressive realization to a worthy ideal, whatever it is that you set and determine it is that you want. That's up to you. But you leading yourself is consistently doing that. And I get even let's talk about weight loss for a second. Let's say you have a goal to lose 20 pounds and you go ahead and lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds in your first 2 weeks. Other people will notice you leading yourself and be attracted to the fact that you're leading yourself. That's how you build the business. That's how you build your influence. That's how you build your team, because they know that you're credible. Why do they know you're credible? Because you did it. That's why. That's how they know. Like people are always like, don't tell me about what you know if you don't have the tangible results to show me. I don't care about what you think you know. I don't care about the notes you took from your personal development class. I don't care about none of that. None of that means anything to me. Did it get done? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, you're still on the I'm figuring it out phase. And that's totally okay. It's just don't have I'm the ish, I have it all accomplished kind of attitude when you should really still be in a learning mode of just implementing the things that we learn in order to accomplish the goal. But every leader needs to start with a me first attitude, all right? So after me, you hit Rising Star. Then after that, you can build your whole business on Rising Star. Literally, you can build your whole business on Rising Star. How? What do you mean? Some of y'all, do you even know how many people it takes to get to 10K a month, to get Icon? How many passes do you need in your organization to hit Icon? Drop it in the chat. Who knows? Let's see who knows it first. Let's see. 1,000. Marquez. Bro, Marquez be always winning, bro. I don't even want to give you nothing, bro. You always win. He's on it, bro. 500 silver, Paul Scott Smart. So I'm talking about total. So we'll say 1,000. So say 1,000 passes. It takes it's 21 passes for Rising Star, but let's just round it for 20 for a number of purposes. You need 50 Rising Stars in your business to become a 6-figure earner. Simple as that. So it's like once you hit Rising Star and you can prove it to yourself and to everybody around you that this is accomplishable, that this can actually happen, now the focus shift can go on creating Rising Stars in your organization once there's no question or no debate whether or not you can do it or not. Because now nobody can challenge you about it because you actually accomplished the feat. So when you're talking to people, even when I'm building my business, I don't talk about my own personal rank goals. I talk about how many 6-figure earners do I want in the organization? How many 7-figure earners do I want in the organization? And your priority should be Rising Stars. So if you have, or regardless of what rank you are right now, you can go after this call and write down everybody in your organization who's made a commitment to go Rising Star. That way you can work with those people and then have, let's say you got 5 people, have 45 other slots open on your whiteboard, knowing that those slots are going to get filled up with people who are going to want to hit and then eventually hit Rising Star. And when they show themselves, you will actually be able to help those individuals. But if you haven't done it first yet, you don't have nothing to start with, and you don't have nobody to start to, you have nothing until you actually go out and get it done. It's hard to lead anybody when there's nobody there to follow, but you will create that by you actually going out and putting in the work. So a couple of things that I think that we can do as a team, as a family, to really help this work for all of us much better. One, again, thank you. I don't know if she's on the call, but shout out to Susan Batchelder. Susan's been crushing it. Director of marketing. She's incredible. And so I brought up something a couple of days ago in the advisory board just about having a welcome flyer for people who just joined Auvoria Prime. Meaning that, let's say that Corey goes and enrolls somebody tomorrow. He enrolls Daniela. Daniela is now in Corey's business. One of Corey's first actions now, and again, this is for you. So one of your first actions now, after you enroll somebody to help yourself and to help all of us, is to get a picture of that person. Most people got Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Get a picture of that person, put it on the welcome flyer. The welcome flyer is, because somebody dropped the link for the welcome flyer in the chat, but it's in your back office, I believe, under resources. If not, I will make sure that where it's at will be posted everywhere again. But, oh yeah, shout out to, we think we just hit 100 people in the call too. I see y'all, them OTCs, man. Don't sleep on those, all right? I'm on y'all about these OTCs. So from now on, once you get the welcome flyer once you get the welcome template, you put that person's face on it, put their name on it. Okay, I've seen people do this and not put the name. You gotta put the name because it recognizes that person. Everybody likes hearing their name. Who doesn't? So it's like you do that for that person, and then you got two jobs. One, post it in the AP Legacy Facebook group. You guys are gonna start seeing me do this a ton in these next couple of days. So when somebody's brand new and joins, we want it to be known inside of our Facebook group that new people are getting started every day. How is that going to be known? We need people to see it. If they don't see people getting enrolled, hey, let's say I enroll Jasmine, okay? And again, I'm only picking on Jasmine, Corey, and because y'all names are literally right here in front of my face. So, but let's say I enroll Jasmine. Jasmine's going to use Gearbox. I will get a picture of Jasmine, put on a welcome flyer, put her name on there. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jasmine just got started with us last night. She's excited to use Gearbox and help compounding her money as we continue to grow this thing going forward. That's it. Don't think too hard about it. That's it. Poster. Now, all of us who are the leaders of the AP community, our job is to make sure, one, that person who just got posted feels welcome. All you got to do is comment welcome emoji. That's it. Don't think too hard about it. Welcome emoji. Now, myself, I will post Jasmine on my Instagram story. I would tag my upline in it, and I would tag the company's page, Auvoria Prime, in that post as well. So now the company's going to repost it, your upline's going to repost it, and that person is now getting hit with notifications on Facebook. So when they just join, they feel so much more love from so many different resources because people are reaching out and showing them love. A couple people probably will follow them on their social medias, and they will feel a part of this community more. Also, all the prospects that are watching your page is like, oh, she just enrolled, or Donta just enrolled somebody, or there's somebody else who just joined Donta's team. I know that that's working. My job isn't really, you know what? I think I should go hit him up now. Like, you're getting a lot of those conversations from people, even though they're not saying it to you, they're definitely thinking it when they see somebody join your organization. And then in the Facebook group, all the affiliates, all the customers, and a ton of prospects are in their Facebook group as well. So when they see those things, they get excited. They're like, oh, snap. Okay, well, there's people joining that. Maybe I should join now. I see 5, 6, 7 people getting welcome to the group. It literally does multiple things in our favor at the same time by actually us just going ahead and doing so. And this also applies to your rank ups. So anybody on your team anybody on your team actually rank up, hit visionary, rising star, any of the ranks, same thing. Make sure you get the flyer done. Make sure you post them on your story and you post them inside of the Facebook group. All right. Obviously put your disclaimer on there, but that does massive help for you and that person, and then the rest of our company as well. We want to make sure that the optics are good, meaning that anytime somebody hears about Auvoria Prime, whether it be the people, whether it be from somebody in your business or not, that's one thing you got to accept. There's going to be 6- and 7-figure earners in Auvoria Prime who are not going to be in your organization. Just straight like that. So that's totally okay. That's totally a part of building the business, but we're all still a team and we need to work relatively collectively for this thing to grow and help everybody be able to scale up, if that makes sense. If I come to this meeting in Atlanta that we have in 2 weeks, that meeting in Atlanta, there's not going to be just one team in the building. There's going to be a bunch of teams in the building. And because of that, any prospects that come is going to say, wow, this Auvoria Prime is really doing something, because there's multiple teams in the building. There's multiple things happening. There's more of a presence. So we want to leverage that social presence in person and on the internet, if that makes sense. Again, let me see some 7s in the chat if I'm making sense, and I'm not done with y'all yet. I got a couple more things and I'll let y'all go. All right, say some 7s. I see some 7s. Perfect. All right, perfect. So now let's talk about this relaunch. All right, let's talk about this relaunch. Let's talk about hitting momentum pool this week. All right, I'm not talking about next week. I'm not talking about I'm talking about this week. If you want to hit the momentum builder bonus pool in the next 7 days, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to hit the momentum builder bonus pool in the next 7 days. Now, put a 2 in the chat if you are going to hit the momentum builder bonus pool in the next 7 days. Because what you want doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I want a lot of things that really don't matter. But until I make a decision that is mine, then the shift comes with the understanding of the language. Like, the language is so important about what is it that you're saying. There's so much power in words. Like, it is I can't even get into that conversation today. I'm going to leave y'all alone, but there's so much power in the things that you say and the things that you speak about your business, about your life, about what's going on. It is extremely important to say the right thing. So I am so happy and grateful now that there's 50 different rising stars inside of my organization. These are the things that you should be thinking. My goal is 2,000. I got 2,000 rising stars, but I'm also not attached to time. I don't look at Auvoria Prime as something that I'm going to be until the end of the year and figure it out. I know I'm coming into it already expecting that this is a decade project that we're going to be doing. And by the time that some of these things play out, we're literally like it's going to happen. We're going to be in 3 years from now. You're going to be like, dang, there's 2,000 rising stars in impact. Like I told you, like I did say it, like it wasn't like this just happened. No success just happens on accident. It is plotted. It is planned. It is orchestrated. When we don't get attached to how it's going to happen, didn't know how everybody in my business got here. I'm just attached to what the finishing goal and what the end goal is. All right. So let's talk relaunch for everybody who's looking to relaunch their business and to smash the Momentum Builder bonus pool this week. Let's talk about content for a second. You need to post content online. Like at the end of the day, like we're in a period of time right now to where we don't know what places we can do events. We don't know certain things. Like a lot of things are still kind of up in the air. What we know for a fact is that we can all leverage the internet to grow our business. It's just a complete 100% fact. And one of the first things that we need to be doing is to create content. Why are we creating content? Because it brings in new people to be looking at what's going on. And there's a difference between marketing and prospecting. We can get into that conversation another day as well, but you want to start to get in the habit of posting content. And for anybody who struggles with posting content, here's the biggest advice I have for you. I got two acronyms for you. The first one is ILT. I learned this from Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon talks about invest, learn, teach. Invest your time and sometimes your money to be able to learn different things, whether that be different podcasts or business books or events or whatever that may be. But invest, learn, teach, meaning that once you read something new in a book, once you have that new information, all you're doing is teaching on your social media about some of the things it is that you just recently learned. It's one of the easiest ways to create content is just learn something, invest into learning something new, and then go ahead and teach on your platform. It doesn't mean you got to do a 2-hour Facebook Live, but what it does mean is that you can do a 30-second reel or do a couple, like you have so many options about what it is that you can post. Okay. So that's the first thing is invest, learn, teach. And the second thing is RLV, which is results, lifestyle, value. There's no big time content creators or massive people creating influence that are only posting 1 time a week, 2 times a week. You got to realize you want to get into the habit of getting content inside of your potential prospect field on the day in and day out basis. So your first is ILT. Your second is RLV. What do I post? Okay, well, I can either post results, lifestyle, or value. One of the three. That's literally, if you go to my page, that's it. Maybe some little comedy in there as well. But outside of that, you're talking about results, lifestyle, and value. Results. All of you should be using some sort of trading product right now that should be bringing you in some kind of results. You can leverage that. You can be smarter than that and also leverage other people's results, meaning that there's screenshots and different people who have their FX books posted in a Facebook group and all that you can leverage as well and post on your social media. As far as results, lifestyle are the things that you really go through, family stuff, traveling, whatever you're actually doing, regular lifestyle things that happen inside your real life. People need to know that you're a human being. You're a real person on top of the fact that you have the hottest global business in the world right now. But they need to know that you are a real person. All right. And then your last thing is valuable information. And that's where you get the ILT at. Because a lot of people struggle with how do I create valuable content? Base it off the things that you've invested into actually learning. And if you don't have anything you can think of, that means you need to invest a little bit more into what is it that you're actually learning. Okay. Does that make sense? And then my last point is 5 steps or 5 things you can do this week to hit the pool this week. Like, let's hit the pool. I want to see people swimming. I want to see people having better recruiting weeks than they ever have. Okay. So I got 2 things for you. One, you need to study what I'm about to show you here. And you guys have all already seen it, but I got to bring it up again because I've actually gone through this entire 24 pages here. Bro, it's fire. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what I challenge everybody on this call to actually go through this, because some of this next stuff I'm telling you is going to be good, but you're going to need to know what to say. You're going to need to know how to be in some of these conversations. So it's like you actually need this information that I'm showing you here. There's literally so much content. This was created by somebody else who's made over 20, 30, 40 million in network marketing as well. This platform that you're looking at right now was created, and then we leveraged it and created it, or we changed it for Auvoria Prime. So this is massive. It's 24 pages of how to have conversations, how to post, how to follow up, how to deal with objections. This is literally gold. I promise you. I read the entire thing in the last week again, and I'm just like, this is so good. It answers a lot of questions that I know that I had when I was really out there actively building my business. So if I have a challenge for you, and again, I'll drop this link in the chat. If I have a challenge for you, it is to make sure, somebody said, where is this? It's also, what is it? Matt, can you put the actual link in the group? It's like AuvoriaPrime.me/message scripts, I believe. But it's some really good content in there about how to have conversations, what to say, how to follow up. Just multiply faceted way to be able to get the goal done of you recruiting more people in your business. Because like that's the main thing. And it just gives you a lot of the things that people kind of wonder or second guess themselves about. I just dropped the link in the chat though for everybody who wants to do that. This week, read the entire thing and take notes on it and study it. And really start to ask yourself some questions about how are you having conversations with people out here in the field. So there's something as far as information wise to study is that this week. Now let's talk about action. So I'm gonna give you guys, like if I'm launching my business for the first time from scratch and I've already gone through my warm market, what am I doing? My first thing that I'm doing outside of posting every day, which we already talked about, is now I want to leverage social media in multiple ways to prospect. There's one thing to attract business as far as marketing, but now we're going to talk about actively prospecting. What does that mean? That means I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to send Matt a message. I'm going to call Matt. I'm going to directly contact him with the intention of having a conversation about what we're doing here at Auvoria Prime. That's the main, like that's literally what prospecting is about. So to create an exposure, I'm reaching out to him to create that first exposure. Now, how are we finding people? Here's a couple ways. And this is the, after I read this list off, I'm going to tap into some details of each of these points. You have no excuse after I'm done this list as far as how can you hit the pool. No excuse. All right. Absolutely not. So first, there's an app that I used to use all the time. I've been teaching the team about this. Bumble Business. Okay. So Bumble is actually a dating app. So for my married folks out here, have a conversation with your spouse first. Let them know this is a business situation. It's not about anything like that. But it's a business, also a business app. They created a business section, okay? So Bumble Business will create basically an environment where it'll let you match with any entrepreneurs that are also in the area right now. I love talking to entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs already know about business and money and things like that. So when they hear about some of the returns that we're doing, we have a global business opportunity, it's a very, very easy thing. So everybody download Bumble on your phone, download it, go to the business section, match everybody in your area in the next 24 hours, as many people as they'll let you match. And then Jackie likes to go ham on. Exactly, I'm telling you, Bumble Business, I've had a lot of enrollees off of there. So that's a quick one because I don't even know what area some of y'all are in. Some of y'all might be in areas where there's nobody in the Auvoria Prime ad, meaning that that's just a wide open market for everybody on Bumble Business that needs to hear about what is it that we have. So what do you say to them? Go read the 24 pages of messaging scripts about what to say to that person. But Bumble Business is your first thing, all right? Your second thing is local Facebook groups. What do I mean? Is that, so, okay, we all know we're using, we have multiple, we have our main Facebook group, and it's very easy to plug and play people in there, talk to people on Facebook, tag your upline in a three-way. Facebook is very easy to leverage to build your business. But what do I mean by local groups? That means, okay, if I'm in Atlanta, I can look up Atlanta real estate. I can look up Atlanta investing. I can look up Atlanta. And again, you can even do this for personal things. Like I like to play sports. I play basketball. I do different sports or whatever. I can look up Atlanta recreational basketball. I can look up, if I was a woman, I could say Atlanta high heels or Atlanta, whatever. There's Facebook groups in your city for all types of stuff, literally all types of stuff. Like and you don't have to go look for Forex traders. Like, again, keep your mind, like you got to realize that most people who see massive value in what we have, a lot of them have never traded before just because, so it's like just a very simple opportunity for them to be able to invest. But go add yourself again today to 10 different local Facebook groups, okay? 10 different ones. I don't know what the groups are going to be about. Make 5 about business and the other 5 about things that you actually like as a person. What's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite this? Go find a group that's local in your city. Even if there's only 100, 200 people in there, add yourself to the group, right? Once you get added to the group, it's a couple ways you can kind of play this out, all right? So one, you can post something valuable in that group. So if I'm in a group about investing, or in a group about real estate, or in a group about basketball, a group about topics that I actually know about, I could actually post something in that specific group that's not inviting them to the business. That's just letting them know that I'm a real person in this group who actually has value to add in this environment. That's one way you can play it. Your second ways you can play it is that you can look at who's been active in the group. So you can look at who's posted recently, who's commented on that post, who's liked that post. And then you'll see real people who you can then go add as friends and go read the messenger script about how to have that conversation with that person for the first time. So that is an unlimited amount of prospects for you just off of that alone. And we just talked about what it means if you can guarantee yourself 2 conversations a day. Keep going, keep messaging people until you talk to 2 people every day. And then that will duplicate in your business. And we know what that starts to look like when you got 100 people committed to 2 people every day. And right now it's so early in Auvoria Prime, nobody's going to be stepping on each other's toes or none of that. It's not enough people in Auvoria Prime yet for any of that to be a reality. There's millions of people who have no idea about what is it that we have. So the Facebook group play is the second one. My third one for you guys today is, and this is something I leverage on Instagram all the time, is that you can look up different hashtags and on your Instagram or even your TikTok or whatever platforms you guys use outside of Facebook that will bring you to like a specific group of people. So for me, I always look up barbers. I always look up people like fitness people who are in the gym and stuff like that as people on Instagram that I'll reach out to directly. Like without even having, I don't need to pretend, we don't need to be in the same Facebook group or none of that. I'll literally go follow you, like 2 of your pictures and send you a straight up DM about what is it that we're doing. It's just how you send the DM that creates the correct posture to make sure that person doesn't blow you off. Does that make sense? Before I continue. So that is specifically for Instagram. So you can go through hashtags and find people who have things in common as you. So you figure out what your top 10 hobbies are, and you can find somebody who are also involved in those hobbies. And let's say that Matt plays basketball and I can reach out to Matt, say, hey, what's going on, Matt? I saw you in this Facebook group about Atlanta basketball players. And dude, I'm a basketball player too. And I've been working with a bunch of people who also play hoops that have been killing it in the investing space. I got a great opportunity that'll help people be able to make money, especially those who play basketball. Would you be open to hearing about what we're doing? Like very simple as far as like immediate implementation. It doesn't matter if he says yes or no. It literally doesn't matter. When I send somebody a voice note like that, I'm already preparing them. I'm letting them know, hey, if it's no, no big deal. Like if you say no, no big deal. I'm taking the value off the table. Like I don't care if you say yes or no. I'm not attached to your yes or no. I'm attached to me doing my daily methods of operation and making sure that I've created enough exposures with real people. I'm not attached to if Matt actually says yes or no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if y'all want some sauce, yeah, exactly. Nothing worse than a copy paste. I'll give y'all the sauce on the messaging. Okay. Again, I learned this from Ray Higdon. The sauce on the messaging, the best way to do it. And Matt always says this too. He's like, call your people, don't text them. Call them, don't text them. You will always get a better response. Your middle ground though is your voice notes. Your middle ground is the voice note. If somebody actually hears your voice when they get a DM from you, it is much different from them receiving a message that you copy and pasted because they know it was original. And you can do a few things to establish and lock up that relationship in that message. Here they are. One is anytime I'm sending somebody a DM, I reach out to them, I say their name. Hey, Matt, I'm Donta. That's my first thing is to say his name. The same thing with the recognition. You don't want to, I literally hope they're taking notes. If not, it's all good. I literally want that person to hear that me say the individual's name, but lets them know that I spent enough time looking at their page to at least know the basics. If you come to my DM and you spell my name wrong, or if you come, like, I'm ignoring you, bro. I'm like, bro, you don't even care enough to do it the right way. So I'm completely ignoring you. But if you come correct, you will be surprised about the doors that you open. So your first thing is you want to make sure that you say their name and then you say your name. Okay. So that's the first thing. Hey, what's going on, Matt? This is Donta. Next, after that, I'm letting him know how I found his page because he's thinking in his brain, okay, who are you? Like I don't know you. So it's like you want to knock out the elephant in the room as fast as possible. Hey, what's going on, Matt? It's Donta. I found your page in a Facebook group about basketball players. I found your page in the Atlanta real estate group, or I found your page from a hashtag. Again, if you find somebody's page from a hashtag, that means that they posted the hashtag on their picture. Don't be mad at me for DMing you about something that you initially, like you set it up on your page. You joined the Facebook group. So nobody's going to feel like animosity about something that they know that they actually did. So it's like you can establish that that's where you found them. That, hey, I saw hashtags for X, Y, and Z. And that's letting them know basically how you're here. So step 1, say their name. Step 2, say your name. Step 3 is to make sure that you go and acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is how you actually found their page. Step 4, hey, we're right at it. Like, we're right at it. You let them know that you're working with people who already do whatever they've already acknowledged that they're doing. So whatever the hashtag or the group or the location or whatever that is, you know that about them already. So now you leverage that information by saying, hey, what's going on, Matt? I'm Donta. I found your group in an Atlanta basketball basketball pages, a Facebook page. And I've been working with a bunch of people. And again, you're establishing that you're already working with people who are doing what Matt's doing. So I can say, all right, I've been working with a bunch of basketball players who live in the Atlanta area already. It's been incredible on a big time project, helping people make money from home. Would you be open to? So that's what you're doing. You're establishing that basically you're working with people who already do either what Matt does or where Matt's from or the hashtag or however it is that you found his page. You're acknowledging that you're working with people who are already doing that. Now, after that, you can make the invitation. Would you be open? Are you open to taking a look at what is it that we're doing? I always say open. I don't say interested because it's easier to say, oh yeah, I'm not interested. Like girls say that super easy all the time. I'm not interested in him, or I'm not. It's so easy to say that. But if I say, are you open-minded? Are you open to this? They're more so going to be, they're more so going to be actually down and actually saying, you know what? Nobody wants to say that I don't have an open mind. All right. So we got 3 minutes. I got to wrap this call up. And so my last part about the prospecting message is after you ask them, are they open? You can say and just basically like take all the value away by saying, if not, it's all good. So now you're basically making it okay for that person to say no, which is like reverse psychology, because it will actually make them be more willing to say, what is it? What are you talking about? What's going on? So it's like, that's the 7-step process to that. I want to get these last 2 pieces out, that as far as where can you go find prospects tomorrow. All right. So I hope y'all took some notes from that last segment as far as what do you say, read the message scripts that are there as well. You can take some of those approaches as well. For those people who are much more open to having meetings in person and stuff like that right now. And again, everybody's like, however you want to deal with COVID is completely up to you. So we had a conversation all internet. For those who are in person, some of the easiest ways to get your business going is going to local WeWorks. There's WeWorks in every city. WeWorks, Regis are available in almost every city. I went to WeWork in London. I was like, what? They have these out here? Like, this is insane. So it's like, you can literally go to a WeWork, pull your laptop out, pull some charts up, kick it, and then spark a conversation with the people who come in and out. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Super, super, very, very easy to do. And then your last thing is going to Eventbrite in your area and look up any investing seminars, real estate conferences, things like that are in your area on Eventbrite. Then you can actually go attend those events, and it's easy to have that conversation. Everybody at an event's nice. They're like, oh, hey, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Boom, same conversation. You're collecting context, you're making exposures, and the job gets done. I forgot that I had to wrap this call up at 1 because I had a couple more pieces for y'all, but we'll save that for the Rising Star only private training that'll be released very, very shortly. So I'm grateful for everybody on the call. Matt, I'll swing it back to you for these last couple of minutes. If you got any questions, you guys can hit me up on IG. I definitely appreciate any tags or any love that y'all showing. Much, much love. Let's run it up. Let's hit the pool this week.
Hey, man, give Donta a bunch of 777s if you appreciate the amount of content. Wow. I feel sorry for people who miss these calls, by the way. I feel sorry for them because that just, being a leader is showing up, right? The very first thing, just showing up. And I tell you, man, that was so much good stuff, guys. Listen, let's all hit the pool this week. Let's make a commitment. AP Nation, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, hit the pool this week. That's how you build your business. That's how you're going to go to Mexico with us to go to Cabo. If you're going to go to Cabo, it all starts with hitting the pool starting this week. Let's all hit the pool. Hey, next Saturday, Icon 50, Derek Alexander will be bringing the heat. Let's pack these calls out every single Saturday. Let's keep growing them every single week. Love you guys. Let's crush this week. Let's go. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.